Lesson 23.
Hijo, hija. In Spanish, every time you see the letter H, it's always going to be silent. Never try to use it the same way you would use it in English. For example, saying hijo instead of hijo.
And also, they need to watch out for the letter J, because an English speaker might be tempted to mispronounce the J.
That's correct. The J in Spanish is totally different than in English. So never ever use the J the same way. Think of it like this. The way you use the letter J in Spanish is the same way you use the letter H in English.
So in this word, there are really two letters to watch out for, the H and the J.
That is it.
So whatever you do, don't say, he Joe.
Or hi Joe.
Right. The other thing to remember in this lesson is that if you are referring to a group of sons and daughters, in other words, a mixed group that has males and females, you would use the masculine form, which is hijos. Right, Antonio?
That's correct. The plural form for hijas, feminine, it's only used when there are only girls involved, no boys. So only the daughters. But if it's a mixed group of both boys and girls, it's always going to be hijos, the masculine form.
Antonio, there is one other thing in this lesson. We say that when you use the word hijos, it often just means children. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, as we already know, children also means niños, which is a group of mixed boys and girls. But often, us parents, when we are talking about our own children, we also say hijos, the plural form.
So I suppose that niños and hijos can be used in different contexts.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like in English, we have different contexts in which we use the word children. The word children can mean really two completely different things. On the one hand, it can mean children like little people, like people under the age of 11 or 12, or it could just simply mean offspring, like your own biological offspring. Let's say, for instance, that you are a 60-year-old man or woman, and you have three children, ages 25, 27, and 30. Well, you could say, I have three children, but of course those children are not little young people, they're grown-ups, they're adults. But you're saying children in the context of offspring. So you're using the word children to mean that they're your biological offspring. Or you could use the word children to mean young people. You could say, hey, look at those children over there. In that case, you know the children being referred to are not your own children. They're just little kids running around. So really, in fact, there are two ways you can use the word children to mean your own offspring or just young people under the age of, 11 or 12. And so when you translate the exercises, you have to sort of keep that in mind because the same thing is true for niños. Niños could mean children in the sense of your own kids or just children in general. And as Antonio said a second ago, when we talk about our own children, like our offspring, you can use the word hijos for that, to mean your own offspring. So as you go through the exercises, keep this in mind and sort of think about the context of the usage of words like niños and hijos, and just keep the context in mind as you go, and that'll help you to correctly translate the sentence and to know really what the speaker is saying, what they really mean. Okay, let's go on to the exercises. In number 1, mi means my, and hijo means son, so that simply means my son. In number 2, the word hijas is a plural noun. Therefore, we have to have mis, which is also plural because mis and hijas have to agree with one another in number. In number 3, the situation is the same. Hijos is plural, and so tus has to be plural as well. You can't just say tu hijos. Tu has to be plural to agree with hijos. So it's tus hijos. So it means your sons, but also the word hijos could be referring to a mixed group. It could be sons and daughters. So really, number 3 could also mean your children. In number 4, tu means your, and hija means daughter. Mi means my, and hijo means son. So, your daughter and my son. In number 5, we have 2 indefinite articles, una and un. Una hija means a daughter, and un hijo means a son. So, a daughter and a son. In number 6, mi means my, and amiga means a friend of the female gender. So number 6 says, my friend. In number 7, we have 2 more indefinite articles, un and una. Un hombre means a man, and una mujer means a woman. So, a man and a woman. In number 8, we have 2 plural definite articles, las and los. Las muchachas means the young women, and since muchachas is feminine, we have to have the feminine definite article, las, which is plural. And las and muchachas must agree also in number. So las and muchachas must agree with one another in number and gender. And the situation is the same with los and muchachos. Muchachos is masculine and plural. So the article here, los, that must also be masculine and plural. So number 8 says, the young women and the young men. In number 9, mi means my, and hermano means brother. And then we have tus hermanos. Hermanos means brothers. It's plural and masculine. Therefore, the word tus, which means your, that must also be plural to agree in number with hermanos. And of course, hermanos, being a masculine plural form, in a conversation, that could be referring to a mixed group involving males and females. So this sentence could mean my brother and your brothers, or it could possibly mean my brother and your siblings. In number 10, tu is your, and hermano is brother. And then we have mis amigos. Amigos is plural and masculine. Therefore, the word mis must also be plural to agree with amigos in number. So number 10 says, your brother and my friends. And of course, since amigos is plural and masculine, it could possibly be referring to a group of mixed gender.